What's the problem, Bonnie? What is it? What, Chicken Man? You want you can't have Chicken Man. Chicken Man, no. He's up there monitoring what Dad's doing. You cannot have Chicken Man. Welcome to D-Mop Garage. We are back on the Beetle finally, on Ophelia, the 57 oval Beetle for my wife, Lars. And yeah, we haven't worked on it for a while, so I've got to get cracking because we've got winter coming. And this thing is not in primer, as you can see. The body has just been sitting there coated in phosphoric acid. And that only lasts about, 18 months, and then you've got to kind of reapply it because things start to rust again. So what we're doing today, this thing's just having a little break for this week. What we are doing is the guards. And you can see this one here, I've already started preparing it for primer, and I've just run the flap disc over it just to clean it up a little bit. There is some dents that we're going to have to take care of and some rust to take care of. A couple of holes here we've got to plug up, and on the underneath of it you can see a little bit of this has been coming back, so we've got to get onto that. And we've got a hole here to take care of. We've got a big cancer hole here to weld a piece back in, and some little pieces here as well. So we're going to concentrate on this guard today, and then of course we've got the other ones down there that also need attention because they are all same deal, just in phosphoric acid. Once we can get these in primer, we can put them aside and then get onto the body. So that's going to be the next thing. So we'll set up to do some welding now, and we're just going to take care of these spots and then we can get it prepared. So let's get cracking. Okay, so we're going to just repair this little section here, which I've already cut the piece out, and we will get a piece of metal.
Butter hook.
I'll just cut that and then we'll fill it out. We'll just fill that in and chop it, and then we can weld it in. Okay, we'll give that a grind back with the flapper and continue on. That one's done. We've got a couple of little pinholes just up here, which I'll just quickly plug up. It's done. We've got a couple of holes here, just using the little copper backing, put it behind it, but put a glove on, otherwise you get a hot hand. Pop it behind it. Alright, we'll give those a tap back. Now I think there is also a hole on the back, right there, tiny one. Now one of the next things is this little stalk here is not happy, so I've got to weld him back in too. He looks pretty pitted actually. Yeah, this part here is a little bit, it's kind of come away at the base there, so it should be there like that. We'll just quickly put that back. Nice and solid. Right, now a bit of a crack here we can take care of. Really just checking everything now to make sure we haven't missed anything. And that, yeah, this little corner here needs a bit of work. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, we're just going to run it back through the sandblaster in a few strategic spots because, yeah, she's not fantastic. A lot of this has just come back all through here. We'll just attack that again with the blaster and then we can give it another coat of phosphoric, let it dry off. Then we can give it a quick sand and it's ready to get a coat of primer on it. So all the welding repairs are done, I'm pretty sure. We'll have another quick look at it, just in case I've missed something. There is a bit of panel beating still to be done on this, but that's okay, we can do that later. Holes done there. Yeah, a little bit rough on that corner. All this cracked area along here has been done. I think we're good. A bit of panel beating to be done just here too. So yeah, all right, we'll chuck this in the blaster and go from there. Righto, so we have another coat of phosphoric acid on it, and you can see that it's all sort of turned that grey, and did put it back through the sandblast to just get rid of that heavy rust in the middle there. What we're going to do now, just before I get some primer on it, there is a couple of dents here that I want to take care of, see if I can just hammer and dolly them out as best as I can. There's still going to be work once it's in primer, but for now I just thought I'll try and knock them out if we can. There's a few in there. And the other guard, which I've done that already, and that one is up here just drying. It's got another coat of phosphoric on it. Started raining outside, so that was the end of doing it out there. Anyway, not to worry. Still a warm day, which is very, very strange for our winter coming. All right, let's try and get, there's a little bit of a dent just through here. We're going to try to get that out. You can see it on that side. So we'll just do a little bit of hammer and dolly work on that, see how we go. Okay, well that kind of takes care of the largest ones that I could see. I'll tell you what, the German metal's so good. It's so just forgiving when you're trying to tap it and carry on with it. I reckon that's going to do it for this. There's a few little dents in this railed section here where it's been lipped over, but it's not too bad really. I'll just show you a little trick on this section here, this part just here. We get our texter, then we can run the file over it. This one I got off eBay, it's a second-hand one, but I'll tell you what, Stokes Pickavant, but really good quality. Actually, I probably need to put a bit of phosphoric on that. It's starting to rust, which we can't have. You can see it shows up all the highs, and then you can just knock them down and see how you go. We'll bring up the lows if you want to. Try that. So you can see roughly what's going on is you can start to bring these black areas up and knock down the highs and just keep going and going and going. I'm not going to bother with it because it's not that bad, and a coat of skim filler on that will take care of it. But if you wanted to keep going, then you can get your Viber with an 80 grit sandpaper on it and just go over the area and you'll end up with nothing. But you know, it's probably another half an hour's work if you want to go down this metal finishing route. Like I said, I'm not fussed. That's pretty damn good. I mean, if I put my hand over that, I can barely feel anything. If you wanted to keep going, you can knock it out. All right, we'll move on to the next one. All right, so we've got a little bit more progress done. This is going to be very entertaining. We're going to have to cut that entire section off and rebuild it because that's way too far gone. What's the problem, like Bonnie? What's the problem, Bonnie? What is it? What, Chicken Man? You want you can't have Chicken Man. Chicken Man, no. He's up there monitoring what Dad's doing. You cannot have Chicken Man. This is not your toy. Yeah, that's what I said to him. He can't go chewing you up. Not on at all, is it? No, you can't have Chicken Man. I'm sorry. He has to stand up there and make sure Dad's doing a good job. You need to go inside and get your own toys. You got it? Off you go. Go. Anyway, we've got these ones are ready for primer. This back one here, I just did a little bit more work on that. It was pretty badly dinged up in the corner here. The rest of it we'll do once we've got a coat of primer on it. That one, yeah, we're going to have to... I'm actually thinking I might take a template off here just with some cardboard and then transfer it over to here and rebuild that, because that is absolutely not going to fly. It's pretty bad. The rest of it's actually in pretty good condition. All down here. I'm not sure about that circle, if that's been cut in afterwards or not. Potentially not. But also this little curve here, we've got to rebuild it on that other one. It's a little bit dodgy. Anyway, let's make a cardboard template and trace off that one, then we can reverse it and chop that mess off. Righto, so what I'm doing here is I've just kind of repaired this section here because I didn't want to have to try to make this whole lipped area underneath, which would be a little bit more difficult. So I've sort of repaired this section. Now all I'm going to do is just chop that square out, which is really the worst of it, and just panel that in, and then I can do the same over here with that little section. So we'll just quickly cut this out and we can weld in a new little flat little piece in there. I'll bring you back so we don't get sparks on the lens. Okay, you can see how bad this was. I don't know, some muppet tried to fix it probably 50 years ago, I reckon. Anyway, we'll chop that out of a new piece and weld it in. All right, we've got our little piece here, and I'm just going to get that ready to cut in. There we go, that's better. So I just need to round it a little bit more. And we've just got to shave the edge here a bit. That's good. Look at that, it even sits in there by itself. I'll just turn the amps up a bit. There we go. Alright, so we can flap that back and then just repair this last little section on the side and call it good. Righto, it's the next morning and everything has dried off. We've got all the phosphoric done its thing overnight, so we're going to get ready to put some primer on these. Now that repair that I did, because we didn't finish showing it, that's it down there, so that's all done. And also I had to make this because, as you can see, well, that one there is actually nice, but the one over here is not. So it's just been chopped and hacked, and I don't know what someone's done to it. You can see there it's pretty bad. So we're going to graft this piece in now just to make it look a little bit nicer. Last bit of welding on the panels, and then we can get these suckers ready for paint. So let's chop that mess out and fix it. Now we want to make sure we're putting it back in the right orientation, so I reckon if we just go and cut it here, just giving it a bit of a trim. Now we can just place this over the top. Alright, we'll grab the welder, let's get cracking. Let's see what I'm doing here. Let's have a look. Getting you guys closer to the action. Now, just go and get my screwdriver. So our levels aren't correct here, so we got to get them a little bit better, just like so. Well, that one's actually not stuck properly there. Let's get you back sorted. Right, we will grind that back and call it good.
A few moments later.
Okay, well, the weather's not playing ball with me today. I actually had the rack set up outside here so I could hang all the panels. But unfortunately, it's threatening to rain and it's sort of off and on, and I'm like, nah, I'm not going to chance it. So we're just going to basically paint the underneaths of these things in some primer, let that dry for about an hour, and then flip them over and do the other side. Again, this is just a seal coat, just to stop them flash rusting again. They've been prepared with wax and grease remover, like 3 or 4 times I've gone over them all. So yeah, we're just going to have to paint them in here, which is, you know, cover up the motor and don't spray that way at all. But with that high build primer, there's almost zero overspray, especially with the gun I'm using. So yeah, it should be fine. All right, we'll get the paint mixed up and put a coat of paint on the bottom of these things. Okay, so got the top done as well, and you can see now that there is a coat of paint on these things, they're bloody rough. There's a lot of dints. You can see a real big messy area there and another big I mean, this has had a hard life, this thing, but you know, it's good now because you can really notice what needs to be worked on and what doesn't. So at least it's got a coat on it. Yeah, they're rough. There's no two ways about it. Now, one of them, this one here, which is the really rough one, mate, I'm just looking at it going, it's going to be a lot of work to try and get that even half decent. So that might end up being a throwaway, and I might have to buy a brand new panel for it. I don't know. We'll just see how well I can fandangle it. Yeah, she's not looking good, and it's not the original fenders. And I think both of the rears aren't the original fenders, so only the front two are. Anyway, we'll let these things dry. I'll go and have some lunch, and I'll bring you guys back in when they're ready to go. Okay, so I've put the guards up on top, and now we're on to getting the bonnet ready for some primer, but of course I've got to strip off all the paint, so let's get cracking. Okay, well that's kind of taking care of it. We'll just get a wire brush to get those tiny areas, and then we can get this thing cleaned up and ready for some primer. Okay, so it's on to the bonnet or the hood. We're going to get a coat of primer on this thing. It's had some phosphoric on there and we've wax and grease removed and we're ready for a thin coat. Let's get it done. All right, we'll let that flash off. Hopefully there's no overspray on the lens. I think we should be okay. Like I said, this is just a coat to seal it up. So I'm going to flip this on the stands and yeah, it will get a bit of paint on the corners there, but it doesn't matter. All right, well, that is done and it's dried sort of somewhat, but now you can really see how much work is involved in this bonnet. It has a lot of work we've got to do. I mean, there is literally dents all over the place. Oh, hello, Bonnie. And what are you doing here? Are you trying to get some quality control work here? Oh, you're looking at Chicken Man again. Oh, that's not going to happen, young lady. You are not getting Chicken Man. Anyway, this thing here will, yeah, there's going to be some work, Bonnie. What do you think? I might have to go and take you for a walk. What do you reckon? Yeah? All right. Well, that'll do it for this episode, guys. Thanks a lot for stopping by. Thanks again for the new subscribers. We'll see you on another episode here at D-Mop Garage. Woo-hoo!